Hello to everyone, my name is Dmitro Nikitenko and I'm professor of the National University of Water and Environmental Engineering. Today I'd like to tell you about the educational system of Ukraine. With over 600 universities, colleges and institutes, the educational system of Ukraine is characterized by a comprehensive structure that provides education from primary school to higher education institutions. A foreigner has the right to obtain higher education in various forms or a combination of them. The main forms of higher education are institutional, full-time and extramural, and dual. Levels of education in Ukraine are regulated by the law of Ukraine on education. They are preschool education, primary, basic secondary, specialized, complete secondary education, the first initial level of professional, vocational education, the second basic level, the third higher level of professional vocational education, professional higher education, initial level short cycle of higher education, the first bachelor level, the second master level, the third educational scientific or educational creative level of higher education. Ukraine's higher education system offers a wide range of degree programs, from bachelor's and master degrees to doctoral programs in fields such as economic, engineering, law, medicine, and the arts. Higher education system of Ukraine is a set of higher education institutions that provide basic scientific, professional, and practical training, obtaining educational and qualification levels according to their vocations, interests, and abilities, improving scientific and professional training, retraining, and advanced training. Ukraine's higher education is provided by state institutions of higher education, institutions of higher education of communal form of ownership, higher education institutions of private ownership. In Ukraine, there are several types of higher education institutions that offer diverse academic programs and research opportunities. University, academy, institute, college. According to Ukrainian law, universities, academies, and institutes, regardless of their ownership, have the possibility of being granted national status. This status is an honorary recognition awarded to institutions that have made significant contributions to the development of higher education, science, and culture in Ukraine. It highlights their exceptional achievements and signifies their important role in advancing knowledge and fostering intellectual growth within the country. One of the things that sets Ukraine's higher education system apart is its emphasis on research. Ukrainian universities actively participate in research across a wide array of disciplines, enabling students to collaborate with esteemed faculty members on various research initiatives. The admission process to universities in Ukraine is conducted through a competitive selection process in accordance with the terms and conditions set forth for higher education admissions. This ensures a fair and merit-based approach to selecting qualified candidates for enrollment. It is important to note that admissions for foreign citizens and stateless individuals is only available for accredited educational programs. This requirement ensures that international students have access to quality education and that the programs they enroll in meet the necessary standards and requirements set by the accrediting bodies. In Ukraine, each university specifies a list of accredited educational programs as well as non-accredited programs in their rules of admissions. The accreditation of educational programs is confirmed by accreditation certificates specific to the relevant specialties and fields of study. For foreign citizens and stateless individuals, admissions is determined based on the results of entrance examinations and the academic rights to continue educations, as indicated in the document that verifies the level of educations in the country of origin. Training is provided according to the relevant educational programs at the following levels of higher education. Initial level, short cycle of higher education, the first, bachelor level, the second, master level, the third, educational scientific or educational creative level. The educational process in university is conducted in the following forms: training classes, independent work, practical training, control measures. The main types of training in university are lecture, laboratory, practical, seminar, individual lesson, consultation. Students enrolled in universities are required to adhere to the requirements of the educational program or individual curriculum. Furthermore, students are expected to uphold principles of academic integrity, which includes avoiding plagiarism, cheating, and any form of academic dishonesty. The successful completion of an educational or educational scientific program by students is confirmed through a certification process. As the first bachelor and second master level of higher education, certification may involve a state qualifying examination. For example, in medical specialties, the CROC examination is typically required. For non-medical specialties, the final certification is usually accomplished through the performance and defense of a qualification work, such as a thesis or project, and/or by passing a state exam. These assessments evaluate the student's understanding of the subject matter, their ability to apply knowledge, and their overall competence in the chosen field of study. Successful certification demonstrates that the student has met the necessary requirements and has acquired the essential skills and knowledge for the respective level of higher education. If instances of academic integrity violations, such as academic plagiarism, fabrication, or falsification, are discovered in a student's qualification work or any other academic work, the university has the authority to take disciplinary actions. In serious cases where the violations are significant and substantiated, the university may cancel the decision to award the degree of higher education and revoke the corresponding qualification. A university in Ukraine issues a document on higher education, such as a diploma, solely for individuals who have successfully completed an accredited educational program and have fulfilled the requirements of the relevant educational or educational scientific programs, including passing the certification process. To ensure transparency and maintain an official record, information regarding the issued diplomas is entered by the university into the Unified State Electronic Database on Education. An integral component of the diploma issued by Ukrainian university is the diploma supplement, which follows the European standards. The diploma supplement provides structured and detailed information about their completed education and enhances the transparency and recognition of their qualification internationally. The diploma supplement includes essential information about the person's learning outcomes, the educational components of the program, the grades obtained, and the number of ECTS credits earned. This information helps to convey the scope and content of the individual's education in a standardized format. The understanding the process of recognizing foreign educational documents is important for individuals seeking to utilize their qualifications in Ukraine. The recognition of foreign educational documents involves assessing their conformity with the national education standards of Ukraine. This assessment aims to establish the equivalence of academic and professional rights, as well as the educational and qualification levels stated in the foreign educational documents with the standards set by the Ukrainian education system. The recognition of educational documents in Ukraine is guided by international frameworks, such as the Convention of the Recognition of Higher Education Qualifications in the European region. Additionally, Ukraine also engages in international agreements on mutual recognition and equivalence of educational documents and scientific titles, further facilitating the recognition process. The recognition procedure for educational documents in Ukraine can be conducted by both the University and the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, depending on the purpose and context of the recognition. It's important for foreign students to be aware that the application for the recognition procedure must be submitted to the competent authority within the first months of their studies or during their language courses. The Ukrainian procedure for the recognition of educational documents issued by educational institutions in other countries consists of the following steps. Authenticity verification. The first step is to verify the authenticity of the foreign educational documents submitted for recognition. This includes confirming that the education was completed and the documents were issued by a legitimate educational institution. If the documents bear apostille stamps or have been consular legalized, it is considered sufficient to confirm their authenticity. This verification helps ensure the credibility of the submitted documents. Step 2. Recognition of the issuing educational institution. This step involves verifying the official recognition of the educational institution that issued the education-confirming document. This includes checking for the certificate of state accreditation issued to the educational institution and ensuring that it held a valid license at the time the documents was issued to the applicant. This step confirms that the institution itself is recognized and authorized to grant educational qualifications. Step 3. Equivalency determination. The final step is to establish the equivalency of the qualifications indicated in the foreign educational document with the educational and qualification level in the Ukrainian education system. This process is conducted by expert commissions specialized in their respective qualifications. They compare the content and scope of the curricula between the foreign educational program and the corresponding Ukrainian program. If an exact match is not found, a similar qualification in Ukraine is selected for comparison. This step ensures that the educational qualification obtained abroad align with the educational standards and requirements in Ukraine. The result of the recognition procedure for foreign educational documents in Ukraine can lead to two outcomes. First one, recognition. If the foreign educational documents is deemed equivalent to the qualification level in the Ukrainian education system, the result will be recognition. In such cases, a certificate of recognition of foreign educational documents will be issued. The second one, refusal to recognize. If the qualification level indicated in the foreign educational documents is not considered equivalent to the Ukrainian qualification level, the recognition may be refused. In this case, the decision will specify the qualification level that is possible for recognition. If additional conditions are determined for the recognition of the qualification indicated in the applicant's educational documents, such as the need for additional studies, competency testing, or other requirements, a response detailing these conditions will be provided to the applicants. These conditions are typically necessary for further education or employment in the specialized field within Ukraine. Upon successful completion of the recognition procedure, the holder of foreign educational documents receives a certificate confirming their right to continue their education in Ukraine. This certificate serves as evidence that their qualifications have been recognized and allows them to pursue further study or seek employment in their specialization area within Ukraine. The apostille serves as a legal framework for acknowledging the legal authenticity of documents intended for international use. It provides an alternative and universally recognized certification process for documents issued in one country but needed outside its borders. Unlike consular legalization, the apostille certification is a faster and more efficient procedure, allowing an apostilled document to be accepted in multiple countries. Check your country in the list of member countries to the Convention abolishing the requirements of legalization for foreign public documents via QR code. The apostille certification verifies the authenticity of the signature, seal, and stamp on a document. It is typically a stamp or certificate measuring at least 10 by 10 centimeters in size. The apostille can be affixed directly to the document or attached to a separate page specifically designed for the apostille. This certification ensures that the document is legally valid and can be recognized internationally. If you plan to study, work, or establish permanent residence in other country after completing your education in Ukraine, you may need to ensure that your educational documents are recognized and accepted abroad. To validate your documents internationally, you will typically need to undergo either the consular legalization or apostille procedure, unless your country and the destination country have an agreement in place that simplifies or eliminates the need for documents legalization. Consular legalization involves verifying the authenticity of your educational documents by the embassy or consulate of the destination country in Ukraine. Alternatively, if the destination country is a party of the Apostille Convention, you can opt for the apostille procedure. The apostille is a simplified certification that validates the authenticity of your educational documents for international use. If you are planning to use your educational documents in a country that is not a member of the Hague Convention and doesn't recognize the apostille certification, you will need to follow the consular legalization procedure. Consular legalization involves obtaining the necessary endorsements and verifications from the embassy or consulate of the destination country in Ukraine. To initiate the consular legalization of an educational document, you need to begin by submitting a letter of request from the educational institution to the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine. The ministry will verify and provide a mark of verification on the letter of request. Afterward, the original educational documents, along with the verified letter of request, should be presented to the Directorate General for Consular Service of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine. The Directorate General for Consular Service will perform the necessary consular legalization process for the documents. This may involve verifying the authenticity of signatures, stamps, seals, and other relevant information. Once the consular legalization is completed by the Directorate General for Consular Service, the educational documents must be further certified by the diplomatic missions or embassy of the country where the documents will be used. This final step ensures that the documents are recognized and accepted by the destination country's authorities. It was a brief talk about higher education system in Ukraine and recognition or legalization process of foreign documents. So, hope it was useful for you and it will help you to integrate here in Ukraine and to understand our educational system better.